Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Sounds like your volume is down just a smidge here.
Man, you know what? I saw some people in the comments mention this like last week or so. They would say in the beginning that like for some reason it starts off real low and then it gets louder. And I went back and watched some of those videos and I see what they're saying. Like it's weird. I don't know why YouTube is doing that.
I hear what you're saying.
I like that one. That was a good one.
I got a couple more good ones today.
Okay, let's hear it.
How is the stock market like sex?
I don't know. How's it?
Should have pulled out sooner.
Ain't that the truth?
Here's another one for you. The latecomers are going to miss these. How does the stock market crash like a divorce?
How's that?
It's worse because I lost half my money. My wife's still here.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm glad to see you laughing. Glad to see you smiling.
I ain't gonna lie, Todd. Man, Todd, you brightened up my day.
Good. Little stock market jokes.
Yeah. So just a quick update on the market. Dow futures are currently down 254 points. S&P 500 is down 43.5 points. What is today? Let's see. Hold on a second. We have a FOMC meeting today, or well, maybe we don't. Hold on. I was thinking something. We had something with Jerome Powell today.
I thought, didn't he speak yesterday?
Oh, okay. That's probably what it was then. All right, hold on. I gotta share my charts too.
He spoke, talked about interest rate, and the market went up.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find this economic calendar. It's old. Let's see. Oh, okay, never mind. I was just getting confused. I saw something about when the Federal Reserve guys speaking, and it's not Powell. Okay, so it was yesterday. You said he spoke about the interest rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This market it's beyond bizarre. It's really just it's like flipping a quarter. I swear. Like at this point, it's like flipping a quarter. Some days they talk about the interest rates. You know, it's like they could say that if they took the same paragraph and read it on a different day, verbatim, the market is going to do two different things. And that's what's crazy about it. You know, it really is just sweeping up premiums in the market, and where they decide to take it in the end is what they're going to do. But Maggie and I were talking last night. And we was talking about this baby formula shortage in the country, and man, it's sad. It's really sad to see people like in our HOA group, in a sense, borderline, begging, just for really like just to tell them, hey, if you see any baby formula, please let us know. And people are now trying to make their own baby formula. And it's sad that, with people trying to make their own baby formula, some babies are going to suffer.
And when you're saying suffering, what that means, we're not going to see that suffering until 10, 12, 15. Like they're going to suffer developmentally with their brains and their bodies that they're not going to be fully aware until later in life.
Yeah, but even in the short term, some of them are going to, I hate to say it, some of them are going to pass away from unfortunate things with their parents trying to do their best to make baby formula. And there's just going to be some people who screw up making the baby formula,
Yeah. Michael Broadbent puts on here that goat's milk is a great alternative. And yep. And I don't know that to be true or not true. I mean, that's interesting. He says that, but I bet you there's not a lot of goats around for goat's milk. I think that's like something that's just readily available for people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a goat.
You are the goat. Whether people want to believe it or not, you are the goat.
Man, don't feel like it with Predictive and their bullshit.
Oh,
one freaking trade, and man, it aggravates me thinking about that damn stock. But anyways, what I was saying was this shortage with like baby formula, and we started talking about breaking down. Well, I started breaking down the supply chain issues on what's really causing it to kind of explain to my wife. And in short, it isn't just what is it, Abbott? I think it's Abbott, the company Abbott that makes the baby formula that had to shut it down. Basically, their formula was contaminated. They shut down the entire plant, and I really haven't done any more research on it than that. But it stems a lot further than just shutting down a plant. They get resources from other manufacturing facilities for this formula, and and then if you keep breaking down the supply chain, those manufacturing facilities get other materials, and so on and so on and so on. And when you have some mishap in the supply chain somewhere along the line, and production was not even at full capacity to begin with before they shut down this factory, but when there is already issues in the supply chain, it's like you guys know how if you take dominoes and line them up and you push one and then the next one falls and the next one falls, that's what happens. And that is what is happening right there with the baby formula. And that's just on more of a like micro scale. If you break down the broad market and look into like every sector, you're starting to have companies that are being that domino, and they're starting to tip over, and they'll pull the next one down. And when you have two go down, and they basically supply another third company, well, that third company is taking a significant hit, and if it pulls them down, and it becomes this snowball that just keeps gaining momentum.
Well, and I'm gonna suggest that when you're talking about the dominoes, this isn't a first domino issue. We are deep in a domino pathway from decisions that were made 6 months, a year, 2.5 years ago in our government, in our politics. And I don't want to get into a whole political conversation, but there's dominoes that are affecting this right now that we're suffering from decisions made by key people 2 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. And so with this domino effect, I mean, it just keeps gaining momentum, and at some point the system collapses. If you guys remember, from back in like 2007 when the whole Lehman Brothers thing happened. So Lehman Brothers crashed, market pulled back sharply for probably a couple weeks or whatever, and then it started like balancing out. Everybody was like, okay, everything is cool. And then the shit really hit the fan. That's it. Lehman Brothers was the first domino. Well, it wasn't the first domino. It was the first significant domino that started pulling everything down. And then when everybody thought, okay, cool, everything's going to be all right, that's when it started pulling everything else down. And then, I mean, we all remember the rest of the story. But this is kind of the same situation I feel like we're in. I feel like it is comparing apples to oranges, but I feel like we've already experienced that Lehman Brothers phase, and this might be the phase, because if we look at, let me share a chart real quick.
If people don't remember that time, there's a movie called The Big Short, which is a pretty good movie that shows the dominoes that took place during that time for that all to come together.
when he's saying Domino's, he's talking about like actual Domino's, not like Domino's Pizza or nothing like that. But just kidding.
That's true.
I can see it now. We're talking about Domino's, and everybody's gonna be like, or else somebody be like, "Oh, short Domino's Pizza." Anyways, guys. So what I was saying was, if we look at the market, and if we compare this back to, and I can show you actually on the chart, but if we compare this back to when Lehman Brothers crashed, we had this sharp pullback in the market, and then everybody eventually was just like, oh, okay, this is the bottom. Things are going to start getting better. We're going to go back up. And then it wasn't long after when crap really hit the fan. I feel like we're actually at that stage, to where people are starting to feel like, okay, we might be at a bottom here in the market, because if you look at the SPY chart, let me take these volume candles off. If you look at the SPY chart right here, I mean, that is a decent little bounce. And, some of the TTBB members did catch this when I started telling them about what the Wells were doing on the I feature that will be on the StockCast platform. Some of them did, I mean, I caught it. I wasn't heavy in it with any SPY calls or anything like that, but I mean, we still made pretty decent money. And I looked at the SPY calls last night that I originally had, and man, if hindsight being 2020, if I had kept those, the freaking percentage gain on them was just tremendous. But anyways, this does look like it's wanting to bottom out. And if I was to just forget about all the macro events, everything that's going on right now with the Federal Reserve, the basis points increase and all that shit, I would probably start to view this as in, okay, maybe this might have been the bottom, and it levels out and, continues on, does its own thing. But they're usually in trading, and in my experience, when you think that something has usually met the top or the bottom after a significant push in that direction, and it starts to show that, quote unquote reversal, that's usually somewhere about 50 to 60% done with its actual move, and this is just me kind of like generally speaking, because usually the grand move happens after that, the significant move. And that's, for everybody in the world, globally speaking, that's scary. But if we look back to, let's go back here. Okay, here we are. Actually, okay. So hold on. Here we are currently. You see this setup, guys? Hopefully y'all viewing this on your mobile devices can see this well. I'll zoom in slightly. But you see this setup? You see how this looks? Look. If this does not look exactly the same, then I don't know what is. If I was going to compare it and say at a time frame where we were, and again, guys, it's just me speculating. I can't predict the future. I would say that we're somewhere probably right in here in this phase, which would be right after the Lehman Brothers crash, because that happened somewhere right in here. I can't remember the exact time frames, but I don't feel like Googling it right now. But I feel like we're somewhere right in here. We might see some petty relief where everybody thinks everything's okay, and then shit starts unwinding. So, like, just looking back at the charts, I just wanted to, kind of paint that picture for y'all. I do think, well, just based on the chart right now, I feel like we will probably see some consolidation and a lot of choppiness over the weeks to come. Maybe a slight move up more. And again, I'm speculating way out, and there are so many macro events. Like, this is nothing to make a trade off of, guys. This is what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is just pure speculation. and like don't use it for anything valuable. This is just talking points. So it might come out here, make a slight little push up. I don't think it's gonna like recover. I think it's gonna do just like it did back in 07 to 09, fake everybody out, and then tumble over and really pull back down. But with that being said, kind of going back talking about the supply chain issues, I was telling my wife, this is such a, and I could be completely wrong about this, but this is such a weird time in the world. Like COVID-19 really made things weird, as we all know. And the labor market is just so bizarre with the inflation. Like,
don't get me started on the labor market.
Oh man, like the labor market, like even for petty stuff, man, it's so insane. Like you can't get the help you get to hire anybody for, or even when you're looking at your bills, like our power bill. Oh my God. Inflation has raised our damn power bill now. And it's insane. But anyways, what I was saying was there are a lot of people who still ain't working. And the labor market it just doesn't make sense whatsoever.
About the labor market, what I don't understand is how are they surviving? How are they putting food on their table? How are they driving a vehicle? How does their cell phone still work?
I don't know.
I don't understand. They've got to be doing something, stealing, working, cheating, something to make revenue. Where's that coming from?
I don't know. Like how, if you don't work, how do you keep living a life without adjusting your lifestyle? I mean, I don't understand it. I really don't.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Jordan Garcia.
OnlyFans. Well, now's a good time to mention that Todd and I have decided to join up as a duo on OnlyFans, and anyways,
not real either. It's a high premium.
It is. It's a very, very premium, guys. Like you won't be let down.
Oh my Lord.
Anyways, y'all should see the scratch and sniff version.
We're 8 minutes from the market open.
I'll be honest, guys, I have to talk trash like this or say stuff like this to create my own happiness. That's just me. But anyways, all these people with the supply chain issues, all that going on, if there was a way to pull them back into the market and get things rolling again, would that actually cause the market to level out and recover? I mean, because now globally we are facing a true supply and demand issue. If we was able to, get the supply up, would inflation go down? I mean, it would cause economic growth. There would be massive economic growth. Will we have another run like after we had with COVID-19? I don't know. But the thing is, it's easy to say if we can get everybody back working and get the supply chain issues resolved. That's the big issue that we can't fix. So it is weird that we have all these issues, but yet we have so many people who are not working. And man, to be honest, I don't know how to even begin to fix it. But I kind of feel in a sense that the government, our government, the Federal Reserve, is kind of playing poker and banking on that. Banking on the possibility of, well, if we can get X amount of people back to work, we can start to, alleviate some of this inflation and start to fix some of these supply chain issues and get things going in our favor again. But it goes back to the saying, I'm with the government and I'm here to help.
That's the most dangerous words to ever hear.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. These supply chain issues, and it's spilling over into everything, guys. and it's just something we have to really, really keep our eyes on. So let's Todd, what else did you want to talk about?
I was going to talk about Target. I'm frustrated by the Target has a big drop. Well, right now they're down for 25%, over $53. But if you have options in this, and if you went to bed last night holding this position and had a stop loss, you are screwed because you can't use stop losses in the pre-market, which is just a crazy rule. But
that's another thing just to nail retail traders. It really is.
Yep.
But call your broker up during the live market hours, saying that something happened, and they'll say, "Well, did you have a stop in?" I swear on my life, that's what they'll say. One of the first things.
Yep.
I've heard that a few times.
So I just wanted to mention that. That's frustrating. I'm not in the position. I don't own Target in my trading account. But it's just an observation that sucked.
Yeah. Hold on. So I'm running through comments real quick. Let's see. Okay, it just looks like people really just talking and just in general. And we actually got a lot of comments today. Appreciate you guys. Actually, so many comments that it's kind of hard to keep up and reading them, but I like that. That's nice. All right. All
right, we're less than 4 minutes.
All right. Yeah, so I'm not really seeing too much else, unless if YouTube hasn't updated us with the comments yet. But all right, other than that, not seeing any questions for the most part. So we'll go ahead and wrap up with that. There's pre-market again, guys. Like my pre-market scanner, it's so light. The volume's light on it. Those catalysts, I don't consider those catalysts. It's weak news making stuff pop, and it's going to drop more likely. Volume is real low on all those tickers, and really just in the market in general. So right now, it's so hard to trade in general, especially day trading. Like you have to be. What I've realized is that I have to be quicker to take profits. Trying to stretch stuff out and hit it for bigger gains. And I think those days are done for a while. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you're going to be day trading, make sure you have at least 2 day trades available. That way you can bail yourself out of position. Like there's nothing worse than to be stuck by taking a day trade and you don't have no day trades to get out of that. And then it starts going against you, and then you're just like, oh man, if I cut this trade right now, I mean, I'll violate the PDT rule, be stuck swinging for 90 days or whatever it is that they let y'all do. And then you hold on to it, and the next day your contracts are worthless. So guys, like, be sure that you have enough day trades, or at least convert your account to a cash account. That way you can just break up your trades per the cash in your account, and you can trade accordingly with that. Like if you're doing it with options, I think the settlement day on the cash account I think it settles and you can use that money the next day, I believe. I don't know. I don't have a cash account. It's just from what I remember. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked into that crap in years. So other than that, guys, man, just be careful. Like the market is super weird to report for us to report, anything that's going on in the market. Man, it's slim pickings on our end. It really is. And there's no point in talking about the BS shit. Like we're not going to waste your time talking about the stupid tickers that make a run off of dog bagger and shit like that. No point. But we appreciate you guys tuning in today. Like I said yesterday, I'm not saying to trade smart shit anymore, but just don't screw up. Other than that, I have nothing else. So we appreciate y'all tuning in today, and we will catch y'all in the next one.